Hi, today we're going to have a look at purchase order and we're going to understand how you can automate the purchase order generation for your business. So basically we have a Google document that we have created over here which has all the details for purchase order, and some of the elements for the purchase order have been put inside double curly brackets on both sides. So as you can see, purchase order number, date, supplier name, buyer name, and so on. All these elements have been put inside double curly brackets on both the side. These are the exact same elements which I have also created in a Google Sheet as a header row. So we have purchase order number, date, supplier name, buyer name. This is the header row in this Google Sheet, and I've added three rows of information for this specific details. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use this Google document as a template file, and I'm going to use this Google Sheet as a source of data, and I'm going to automate the process of generation of purchase order for all the rows of the data that is present in this Google Sheet. So basically it will automatically map the purchase order number, date, supplier name, and so on for all the fields onto this template, and it will automatically replace the values that we have put inside double curly bracket for those specific fields, and it will create a PDF file out of it. Okay. So let's understand how this will work. First of all, head over to AutoDocCreator.com. This is the tool which we are going to use, which will help us automate the entire process. So click on sign in with Google and select the particular account where you have the Google document and the Google Sheet available. So I'm going to select my account which I'm using. And once you are signed in, you will be able to see an interface something like this, where you can add the template and the data, and then you can proceed with the automation. So click on load templates and select the purchase order file. In my case it is available here. You can obviously search the file here. Select this file, then I will go with loading the database, which is the purchase order database. Click to select and load it, and once you add the database, you will be able to see some options over here. It is asking us to choose a sheet. So in our database we only have one tab, so that's why it is showing sheet 1. If you have multiple tabs, accordingly select the correct tab. And I want to go with exporting all the rows. You have different options. You can go with range of rows, custom rows, all these things available. I'll go with all rows, and I want to name the file of the purchase order as per the purchase order number. Okay, so all the files which will be generated will be as per the purchase order number that you see over here. So I want to name it as per that. Click on start mail merge, and then you can see it starts processing the files, and it automatically names the PDF file as per the purchase order number that you see over here. Okay, purchase order 1, 2, 3. So you can see it has started downloading the files for us. So just wait as it's completing all the files, and make sure you enable all the pop-ups that appear on your tab so that all the files are correctly downloaded. Okay. A key thing to understand is that you must have an edit access to the Google document which you are using. If you are using a shared file, this will not work. Okay. So the Google document and the Google Sheet must have the edit access from your end. So we have downloaded all the files. Let's check. Let's have a look. So this is the first file, purchase order number 1. And you can see all the fields have been correctly mapped in correspondence to the database. So if you check the database which we have over here, so this is the first purchase order number reference, and we have the date, supplier name, buyer name, which is exactly matching what we had entered over there. So Global Tech Supplies, Creative Innovations, which is also the same. And similarly, if you look at purchase order number 2, you have the same mapping as per the database. And finally, if you look at purchase order number 3, you have the same mapping as per the database. So all the three files are correctly mapped, what you expect, and it just took 1 minute to figure out, and the automation happened promptly. So basically just add the document, add the database, and you can start the automation right away. Okay. A key thing to understand is obviously you must have the edit access to the document and the database, otherwise this process will not work. And make sure whatever you are entering in the document is, it must be put inside double curly brackets as we see over here, and then it will promptly work as per your requirement. If you have any questions besides this, just head over to the home page, click on contact me, and you can send me an email at this mail ID. I'll be happy to take up your queries on this. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye bye.